The thing is, you might want to ask yourself, so here is someone who has probably nothing to do with education except teaching. So how did I get into this whole or the business of looking at student success and progress? During my stay or my, I would say, assignments at the university, I served as undergraduate coordinator. I also served as dean for the School of Business Administration, and now I have some kind of administrative tasks that are related to my previous administrative tasks, and they part of it includes student success and progress. So how our students are progressing towards finishing their degrees and how they are succeeding. And of course, we want to also look at the retention rate, because when you have a student who starts with you, spends probably 1 year at the language center and another year at one of the schools, so it's 2 years of his or her life, and then they don't succeed and they drop out and leave. So that's a weakness in the university system that normally should be corrected. So the first step or the first analysis that we conduct is related to absenteeism and failing. So how absenteeism causes failing a class. So we use a very basic model, which is the logistic model, which tells us, which computes the probability of failing a class. So you either fail a class or don't fail a class. So it's a 1 or a 0. So a linear regression will not work. So one of the alternatives is to do logistic regression, which can be generalized as a probability of failing a class as a function of x, where x is the number of absences. So we conduct a quick analysis of this. And so basically, so this is the ideal model, where you have, for example, here, the number of absences, and 0 means that the students did not fail the class. 1 means that the students failed the class. So we have here failing the class, not failing the class as a function of the number of absences, and at the top failing the class as a function of the number of absences. So we follow this model in trying to predict the probability of failing a class given the number of absences a student accumulates in that class. So we look at different kinds of classes. The first kind of classes are the language center classes, which are English courses that prepare the students to learn in English. So the model tells us that you are at a probability of 50% or higher of failing the class if you have almost 12 absences. So if during the semester you have 12 absences, then you are very likely to fail that class. So the probability of failing the class moves to more than 50%. If you go to another kind of classes, which is the classes of the School of Business Administration, which some of them are technical, that involves mathematics and statistics. Some of them are soft, like, for example, marketing, some kind of marketing that requires soft skills or management. So this probability of failing the class reaches 50% if you have 8 absences. So So you can clearly see that with this kind of classes that are a little bit technical, the probability of failing the class becomes more than 50% if the student accumulates 8 absences or more. If you go to the School of Humanities, you have less technical courses or probably no technical courses. So again, this number of absences increases to almost 10. To have a probability of failing the class more than 50%, probably you should have absences of more than 10 during that semester. The School of Science and Engineering that has a lot of technical courses, so the number of absences is less to around 7.5. So if the average number of absences is 7.5, then the probability of failing the class becomes more than 50%. So here it is clearly seen that the probability of failing a class is highly related to the nature of the course. So why do we talk about failing a class? Because simply failing the class is one of the main drivers in college dropout. If you keep on failing classes, that's the very first sign that will tell us that you will probably leave. And there is a lot of literature. I picked just 2. And the main one was by Vincent Tinto. He published 2 papers in 1975 and in 1988, where he developed the very well-known model for student attrition, whose most important determinants were social, like peer groups, peer pressure, and so on, and academic, which is performance. Performance, which is just probably failing, or most of the time failing classes. So this led us to say that absenteeism causes failure, which causes dropout. Now, how can we detect absenteeism and dropout, or see the direct relationship between absenteeism and dropout? Is by looking at a purely mathematical indicator, which is used heavily in finance, in time series. If you want to predict the price of a stock or the price of a commodity, for example, you have a trend, and you want to know whether the trend is going to continue or is going to reverse, there is what we call the Hurst exponent. So the Hurst exponent is a number between 0 and 1. So you take a time series. For that time series, you calculate the Hurst exponent. If the Hurst exponent is close to 1, it means that the time series is going to continue in the same direction. If it's going down, it's going to continue going down. If it's going up, it's going to continue going up. If this Hurst exponent is around 0.5, it means that you cannot tell. It's a complete, what we call a random walk. It's a complete random walk. You cannot tell whether the series is going to go up or it's going to go down. If this Hurst exponent is around 0, that means that it's going to reverse, that the time series is going to reverse. If it's going up, then probably it's going to start going down. And if it's going down, then probably it's going to start going up. So we use this Hurst exponent to somehow tell what's the relationship between absenteeism and dropping out. So absenteeism and dropping out. So what we did is we picked 512 freshmen. For those freshmen, because the highest probability of dropping out is among freshmen. So we focused on freshmen. So we took 512 freshmen who dropped out between 2012 and 2022. And we looked at the average number of absences that they accumulated, along with the earned credits, how many earned credits they had once they left the university. So once they left the university, they have accumulated a certain number of absences, and they have accumulated a certain number of credits earned. So we used the number of credits earned as the time. So at a first glance, it doesn't make sense. You tell me, so where is time here? Because normally Hurst exponent deals with the time series. So where is time? So time is like the number of earned credits. So that's time. So we ranked them from lowest to highest according to the number of earned credits. And we calculated the Hurst exponent of their absenteeism, of the number of absences that they have accumulated. So what we obtained a Hurst exponent of 0.9. We obtained a Hurst exponent of 0.9, which means that it's very consistent that the series, if we look at the series of number of absences, it is a very consistent or persistent series. It's either going down or going up as the number of earned credits goes up. So how do we know whether it's going up or going down? Just by visual, by plotting it, we see that it is going down as the number of credits increases. So with a Hurst exponent of 0.9, you can tell that there is a really good logical relationship between the number of absences and the earned credits for who? For students who drop out. Now, the paper is talking about detecting dropouts. So how are we going to detect dropout? Is the last step where you are going to take a group of students. So the last step we did is we take a group of students who dropped out and another group of students who did not drop. We mix them and we run the same logic. And we get a Hurst exponent of somewhere around 0.5, which means that this Hurst exponent does not tell us anything about any kind of relationship. So how can you detect whether a group of students is highly likely to drop out or not? Is you take the population of the students that you have in your university, and you run a heavily computational algorithm that will keep on what we call bootstrapping. Which means select a random number of students, apply the algorithm, apply this method to that group of students. Once you have the Hurst exponent, you record it, and you record who those students were first. Then you run it again by another group, and then you run it again using another group, and then you run it again using another group, until you reach the group that has the highest Hurst exponent possible. If you can find a Hurst exponent of 0.9 or 0.8 or something like that, then that is your focus group. Then that group of students is very highly likely to drop from your university, as it is behaving exactly like the group of students that indeed dropped from your university. So thank you very much. I think I took a little bit more time, so apologies for that. And any question, or do we take the questions after?
No, we can take the questions now. Any questions to Professor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we invite Miss Sarah Johnson and Clef Kitchen with a presentation providing continuity of education for children with medical needs.
Please be patient whilst I just set up my slideshow as well. Thank you.
we apologize for some technical issues coming on. And I would like to use this moment and give the certificate of presentation to Dr. and Professor. Thank you. Okay, meanwhile our technical issues are continuing. It's very nice also to know who are you in the public, because you know us but we don't know you. I will pass this microphone if you can say your name and the institution you are presenting. Yeah, but if you can say your name and
Yeah, my name is Feyza. I'm a student in Mehmet Erbakan University. That's it.
thank you. Just pass to the next person.
I am Nisa and I am the third. I get education in Mehmet Erbakan University English Language Teaching Department, and this is my first year. Nice to meet you. See you.
Thank you.
My name is Mekiye Kahraman. I'm a student of Mehmet Erbakan University English Language Education Department, and I'm happy to be here. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just pass the mic.
I'm Selin. I'm in Mehmet Erbakan University English Language Teaching Department.
And my name is Semih Akın.
My name is Şerif Alper. I am Efna Genç. I am a student at the Necmet Erbakan University, Department of Master Sufism.
Thank you.
My name is Hatice Kübra Akal. I am a student of Necmet Erbakan University. Religion, history, master student.
Hi, my name is Mehta Güzel Küçük. I'm an English teacher at Mahmut Sami Ramazanoğlu Kız Anadolu İmam Hatip Lisesi'de. Thanks.
Hi everybody. My name is Türkiye Yıldız. I'm an English teacher too. She's my colleague. We are working in the same school. I'm really happy to be here and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I will pass the microphone here that we don't skip out many people.
Hi, my name is Mehmet Cengiz. I'm a student in the Necmet Erbakan University.
Hi, my name is Musa Mwenga. I'm a PhD student in the field of educational technology at Ankara University.
Hi, my name is Mustafa Serit. I'm a primary school teacher. That's all.
My name is Orhan Gümüş.
Hi everyone, I'm Fatma Nurdak Turmuş. I'm a student of Master in Circle Math Instruction Programming and an English teacher.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Fatih Bolcu. I'm at Necmet Erbakan University.
Hi, I am Ahmet Akçakeser. I am master student at Necmet Erbakan University in Education Management Department.
Hello, first of all, I am Mahir Karaca. I'm a student of Necmet Erbakan University. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nazım Ağabey. I'm Necmet Erbakan University Master Political Science and Public Administration.
Hi, I'm Bahar Aydemir. I'm primary school teacher.
Hi, my name is Mustafa Yurteli. I'm second school teacher. I go to Necmet Erbakan University Master Program. Thank you.
Yusuf Şahin from Kütahya, as a sociologist. And this is a great, easy way to keep more time and keep class attendance. Very good solution.
Hello, I'm Ebru Aras. I'm a master's student at Necmet Erbakan University and also an English teacher at primary school.
I'm Duygu Yarga. I'm a master's student also. At University, thank you.
Hi, my name is Merve Arslan.
I'm a student at Necmettin Erbakan University.
My name is Cennet Darüşler. I am a student at University.
Good afternoon. My name is Nasha and I'm from Fatma Janabim University.
Hello everybody, my name is Islam. I'm from Lebanon and I'm a PhD student at Necmettin Erbakan University. My major is curriculum and instruction.